wonderful to be here again with you all, this beautiful congregation, and to serve God at Fraternal Spiritualist Church again. Today we are going to think and talk about love. Who doesn't like to be loved? Nobody, right? So I would like to hear some of you who would like to share what is love? What is your thoughts? What is your definition of love? Who would like to volunteer? Yeah?
Love is my brother.
Oh, wonderful. That's perfect. Anybody else? Yes?
Love is caring for others, and also love is about, like, emotions, basically.
That's beautiful. Caring for others and emotions. That's beautiful. Thank you. Yes?
Presence and action.
Presence and action. Wonderful. Anybody else?
Love is our true essence, what connects us all together.
Is our true essences which connects us all together. Wonderful. I love that. Anybody else? Yes?
It's a field of intelligence.
It's a field of
Connected
intelligence.
to your full potential.
That's interesting. That's beautiful. I agree with you. Wonderful. Anybody else?
God.
God. Absolutely. God is love. Yes? Okay, so everybody's right, and we have a wonderful idea what love is. So let's think about some of these things that we are taught and we know, like we all kind of know what love is. We experience love, we share love, we love love. But sometimes we don't really think about, right, the details, because the details is everything, right? So it's really a feeling. So there's a lot of philosophers, there's a lot of psychologists that debating about it. Is it really a feeling? Or is all love is the same? So let's think about some different kinds of love that we experience as humans. So parental love, right? So whoever is parents, either to a child or either biological or adopted or even a pet, right? You experience a kind of love that is so different from everything else, right? It's like when everybody used to describe me as a loving person, but when I became a parent, when I became a mother 22 years ago, that's when I learned what unconditional love is, right? Is like absolutely different from everything else that I have ever experienced. It's some things like that person, I can give my life to it. I can die for her. And so it's a wonderful feeling. And but it's not just a feeling, right? It's so much more. So fraternal love. This is like we are in a Fraternal Spiritualist Church, which is a beautiful name. Fraternal love is the love that's originally described as like the love that you share between siblings. But siblings is like a different, is a really broad definition, right? When we experience the love of God, we feel that we all can be siblings because we are all children of God. And that's the goal for us as humanity. Romantic love. That's one of the most researched and looked for as humans. Like everybody's looking for the definitions. What is romantic love? What is real love? How can you find love? So it's one of the most studied kind of love there is. Some of the definitions that are out there is the kind of love in which intimacy and passion are prominent features. Sexual attraction is a very important component of this kind of love. The reasons why we feel romantically attracted to one person or another is unknown. So, and that's a very important thing for us to think about, because when we think about the prejudice that is out there, it's like, oh, this is like, no, you cannot love that person because it's a different race. You cannot love that person because it's the same gender. You cannot love that person because it's a different social status as you than you. So there's so many restrictions in our society in which kind of people we can love. But the truth is, we cannot choose who we love, right? We cannot choose. So it is absolutely beyond our comprehension and our choice. So psychology and medicine nowadays have so many researches and proofs that shows that homosexuality and LGBTQ in general is not a choice. It's something that is ingrained in the brain. The person is born like this, and it's something that is absolutely normal, like every other difference. So we are born with brown eyes or blue eyes or black hair, blonde hair. It's something like that we don't choose. And in that way, we can understand each other, and we can understand ourselves. Even like a couple of weeks ago, there was a tragic incident with one social media influencer. She was a very young lady, very outspoken to justice and to bring awareness to many problems in our society. But she was a lesbian. And after a while, she has converted to Christianity, to those very evangelical kind of church. And she was brainwashed to think that her lifestyle or her style of love was wrong, was a sin. And then she was put into sexual conversion therapy, and she was so really dedicated to change and to renounce her sinful life to God, and the result was that she killed herself. So which kind of society, which kind of love we are sharing in our churches, right? So it's wonderful to see that our church, our Spiritualist church, is not this way. Universal love is the ability to feel equal affection for all individuals. Is the basic concept that Mohist school of thought is like one of the Chinese kind of philosophy. Believes that love is, as opposed to the principles of differentiation, different loves. So universal love is an expression of harmony of the totality. Everything is in harmony with everything else. Nothing and no one is excluded. It's such a beautiful concept, and that's somehow our goal and our aim as humanity. The divine love. As we reach spiritual growth and God's presence, we gradually feel more and more the presence of divine love. We can feel in all our cells, our DNA, is like experience like nothing else. We feel elevated, we feel uplifted, we feel healed, we feel the absolute unconditionality of God's love, and that's something that is so wonderful to experience. God is not punitive. That's one of our folks here. I forgot exactly the person that I think was you, right? With a black and white shirt that defined love as God, because yes, love. God is love, and love is God. So it's the best definition. So when we see people describing a kind of God that's punitive, that's revengeful, that is selective, like you're going to heaven, you're not, you are good, you're not, you are better than you're going, this is not the love that we know and the God that it is in the universe. Because love, God creates us all united, create us all the same, and He loved us all the same. Through our free will, sometimes we think people have posted several times and they speak, and I hear all the time, this in my clinic. I'm a psychologist as well, and I hear all the time when people go through hardship, people question, why God allows so many sufferings in the world, why this is not fair, what is happening to me, what's happening to such and such. We see war all around, right? So many children dying, why God allows all those things to happen. But we need to understand is that our free will creates all this mess, right? We are the ones who are creating our own unhappiness and our own sufferings by our choices. And that's our goal. And even though is very heavy, this responsibility is also liberating, because then when we learn what we need to do, what are these things we need to fix in ourselves, what is that leads us to happiness and love, everything becomes possible, right? Is a wonderful power that God gave us to us, and sometimes we don't know how to use it very well, right? But we are in a process of learning, so this is good. One of the best definitions and the most complete definitions of love that I know is written in the first letter of the Apostle Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 13, which says, "If I speak in the tongues of men and angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and I have the faith that can move mountains, but I do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but I do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking. If it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails, but where there is prophecies, they will cease. And this means that love heals. There's nothing that love cannot change. If we are open to it, of course. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For me, know for we know in part and we prophesy in part. Let us remember that this was written 2023 years ago, where man could not fathom abstraction, like a more abstract concept of God and love, but when completeness come, what is in part disappears. We see nowadays through mediumship, to quantum physics, systems theory, and all the other holistic sciences, that we can clearly see, feel, and understand the continuity of life. We can see here and hereafter. The veil was lifted. So when I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought as a child, and I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put the way of the reasons of like a child. I put my childhood behind. He was also talking about the evolution of the spirit, right? We all started as children, spiritually speaking. We were all barbarians and didn't know how to love, didn't know how to relate with each other with respect and love. And we still have a long way to go, but we have learned a little bit, right? At least we are a little aware of what is right, what's wrong, what love is. the more we evolve as a spirit, and consequently, the more we get closer to God, the more we are able to learn how to love and understand what love is. So when we see religions used to perpetuate hate, discrimination, racism, and even as an excuse to war, we see that they are false prophets because they are really far from what God wants for us. For now, then he continues, the Apostle Paul, for now we see only a reflection as a mirror, again, 2023 years ago. Then we shall see face to face, as we see the Spirit and the angels face to face through mediumship. Is a wonderful experience that now we can. Now I know in part, and then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. Is a wonderful thing that we are now experiencing this reality by through mediumship and through our connections with the angels and our guides. To conclude, I'd like to share a story that of a teacher who made an experiment, an exercise with their students. So she gathered all the students in the school in an assembly, so over like 200 kids, and she gave each one of them one balloon, which they have to inflate and write their name on. So the students inflated their balloons, wrote their names outside, and they were instructed to throw the balloons in the hallway. So, and then the teachers went there and mixed all the balloons and stuff. So, and then the teacher said, you guys have 5 minutes to find your own balloon now. So everybody was frantic, looking for their own balloons. 5 minutes, 10 minutes passed, nobody found their own balloons at all. So, and then the teacher said, okay, now go back to your seats, and I'm gonna ask you to get whatever balloon, the first balloon you see in front of you, and look at the name and give the balloon to that other student. In 5 minutes, everybody found their balloons. So, and the teacher said, this is the secret of happiness. If we look for our own advantages, if you only look for our own needs, everybody is thirsty. Everybody is unhappy, and nobody has their needs met. But if we look for each other's needs, and we live that way to please each other, to take care of each other, to love each other, everybody's happy, and everybody experiences love. So, and that's the kind of love that we need to experience, and that's our goal as humanity. So we live and still, and we're really underdeveloped as humanity. We see like war, we see so many injustice, we see diseases, we see people suffering, we see so many sad things, and even in our lives, sometimes people struggle to pay the bills or struggle with loved ones that passed away. So many things that we are still going through in this experience here on earth. But if we have that goal of loving each other, of living a life that's led by love, when we have questions, we go back and ask ourselves, is that based on love or not? If it's not based on love, don't do it, because it's not going to lead you to a good result. So, and if we all, and sometimes we think, oh, I'm not a president of my country, I'm not a leader, I'm not anybody important, I cannot fix the problems in the world. You are wrong, because we are all sparks of light. And if we all do our part, is contagious. The same thing that darkness is contagious, light is also contagious. So if we do our part, the other person is gonna feel, oh, that feels good. It feels good to be loved. It feels good to be taken care of. And they are gonna do it again and do it for somebody else. and then this wave of love is gonna heal our planet. So let's live and lead and for love, in love, and within love, and we are going to be able to heal our planet. Thank you so much.